Okay, but no, for real. In the first part, I remember we ended off on a cliffhanger. He was about to go into a meeting, and it sounded like it was gonna be a very bad thing, almost potentially derail the project, because it was inferring that they wanted to pivot and change direction because they knew that would be the right thing to do for their characters and story, but
Yeah.
they knew it would, it is a business at the end of the day, and it's a big financial loss. So that's where we left off. Last episode, let's see, I got roasted for not using the captions, which was very, very fun. One of my comments was giving me permission to allow myself to do the French accent without having to apologize. So if that starts to slip up and out of me, then I'm just gonna lean into it. Yeah, there was a lot of comments suggesting where I can find lore and get into it. Oh, and then you had the amazing comment about your Bappy juice. Okay, Elias, I have some information to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so one of my OG subscribers, one of my first subscriber OG. Well, they're all OG right now.
Is it the Durr
Yeah,
guy?
it's their Skip. Their Skip.
Yeah.
He commented. He watched our Arcane video, which was very nice, very nice. And he got to the. He said something for you.
Hell yeah. What was it? The Durst skip guy? Whoever. I respect you.
So yeah. All right. I'm excited. It's fucking exciting because it's rare that you get to see behind the scenes and is good. That makes no sense. All right. I just fucking watched it. Okay. Oh, wait. It's the quote. What is truth but a survivor's story? No cheating.
Couldn't tell you for the life of me. No idea.
Episode 5. No, I'm pretty sure this was Silco.
To who?
It just sound like, just listen to it in your head. Like, play it with Silco's voice in your head, and doesn't it sound correct?
It does, yeah, that's true. I can't place it in the show, but it does have the feel to it.
And maybe it was to Jinx?
It's only a matter of time before he finds the truth.
What is truth but a survivor's story?
I don't know. I just got that feeling that it was our lizard boy ready to continue. I like this, by the way. I like this. Hopefully they do this for the rest of the parts, to have a little quote. We can have like a competition to see who could guess it first. This looks like a lot of fun.
Seems super relaxed.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think this applies directly to Fortiche, but I did hear recently about some news in regards to Riot and them not having the best, let's just say, business practices or ethical practices. I haven't looked into it too far yet. I think I heard it from Moist Critical. I just had like YouTube videos playing while I was at work, and someone, I'm pretty sure it was him, was talking about how the manager or some boss guy would walk around in Siege Cubicle and fart and laugh and leave. But I can't remember.
Oh, cool.
Exactly. Editing me, I'll force myself by saying this to look up and like insert anything I find. And if not, then this is pointless. But yeah, this looks like a lot of fun.
We're not happy with the script, with episode 2 and episode 3. At the end of the call, we were like, they have really said...
There was something about that to me that was so freaky. The way the character model just looked over. Did you see that?
It's very like robotic and alien feel with just the expressionless, no pupils.
What's specifically the no pupils, I think, for me, like the permanently glued open eyelids.
Yeah. It's kind of like a doll that came to life kind of feel.
Persistence, or when your best still sucks. That's adorable. I like that.
Everything is going to shit right now.
I guess that was the next thing I know. Christian mysteriously gets pulled into a meeting, and then it was like a strange intervention where a bunch of other rioters basically told him that it sucked. It was such a blow to just feel like,
oh no,
man, we're being told to stop completely.
Wow.
Yeah, you've been killing yourself, to try and make it work and try and.
All right, let me just listen to this guy has to say.
Figure it out, and your first thought, of course, is just like, is it dead?
Oh my! To think this would die before it got off the ground.
With the promise that
Yeah.
Season to work, they're very, very talented. Get them if you have kind of worth committing to, like a multi-year project.
And
Yeah, that makes
We're
sense.
gonna have this feeling like we're gonna have to tell
Whoa,
people that we just.
that's neat. He had like a little keyboard. on the top of his monitor whenever he
I
watched
didn't
that.
see. Yeah.
And so we just kind of had this.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a big ass tablet.
It is.
Jesus. He's got more buttons. He has a lot of hotkey buttons too. That'd be nice to have.
Dude, I'm just like thinking about the few.
Hmm.
I'm thinking about the few subs of mine that have actually seen our Drawing Arcane video, drawing the Arcane characters video, and
Yeah.
me over here talking about, oh, it'd be nice to have a tablet like that. Meanwhile, I'm drawing like fucking handsome Squidward. So
Sid from Ice Age.
stop. No. But yeah, you're right, it's good.
Which just honestly like the worst thought.
I think Alex and I felt like we sucked. Like we failed.
Christian's a tortured artist who can't let himself not do something great. Like he will will it into existence because he will beat himself up and lose sleep and go crazy.
There were a lot of times.
Hey, but like, that's how good art's born, baby.
It's not necessarily the most healthy, but it is a drive that will create something great eventually.
Well, no, I was just talking about there is a trend within history of the person that has less sanity creating some really cool stuff.
Or why would we make music videos? That's insane. You know, like video game companies don't make music videos. Back then, it was Mark and Brennan who kind of saw.
I'm already noticing a trend within myself of not saying as much as I was saying last time, and I think that's because this time around, I think I'm starting to feel their anxiety. I'm feeling nervous for them, even though obviously I know the end result. Like Arcane got made and it's good in the end, but I feel quite, they're doing a good job of conveying the nervousness that they had, and I'm kind of just sitting here with my ass clenched, like, oh no, like, what's gonna happen? Like, well, I fucking know what's gonna happen, relax. But, so, apologize if there's not as much commentary. It's just, to think that the show had the potential of not being made, and, also thinking about all of the careers that this probably helped really start and get going, because the music was phenomenal, the animation was phenomenal, the sound design, everything, from top to bottom. It was a very tidy piece, and then they got a lot of recognition for it. So.
And they took bets on, me being able to figure it out.
That's funny.
So then in the meeting, everyone left. It was just Brandon and me, and basically, I think Brandon kind of took like the moment to kind of tell me, hey, like, we'll figure it out. Like.
That's good. It's good to have someone like that around.
We trust you.
Yeah.
Like, we'll figure it out.
He crushes himself over it. It's actually painful for those closest to him to sort of watch, and it gives you so much respect and appreciation, and ultimately trust in what he decides to take responsibility and ownership.
Yeah. So if I had to show, I know like you don't have to like this show. I can understand that this show might not have, I guess, the pacing or it's too heavy for some people. I get it. There are reasons why some people with their experiences might not like it. But when people outwardly go out of their way to shit on the show for whatever reason, I don't know. People in my comments have very kindly tried to help me figure out what it could be that causes people to be so adverse to Arcane in a negative way, as in like not politely saying personally, very saying like objectively this is shit, and then being quite rude about it. I want to show them this clip, if that makes sense. Show them, because I think we often forget, even when I'm criticizing some of the newer movies that I haven't been particularly happy with, like some of the franchises that I've loved since I was a kid that have let me down. I kind of do forget that there's that person on the other end, well, many people on the other end, that potentially might have really tried, like really tried, because you think of these like massive corporations, and I at least have a tendency to be like, hey, big corporation, it just feels like it lacks that individual touch, so I forget about that individual touch, but it's there. So this is nice to see. It's a good reminder for me, at least. And also, like I said, I would just show this to the people that are extremely harsh when they say the animation is the worst they've ever seen. I'd be like, try to tell this guy that. I guess. I mean, some people still would. Some people would still look that guy in the face and be like, it's the worst. But
yeah,
it's nice, I think, to see behind the scenes for this reason of humanizing the production of the media that we consume, because there's so much media that we consume, so many movies, so many TV shows just constantly being pumped out, that it's nice to take a step back every now and then and be like, oh yeah, these are the people that
people forget that like it's made by humans.
Well, I don't forget that it's made by humans. I mean, at times it can feel like a fucking machine made it. Yeah, sure, when it's so predictable and whatever, but I forget about the individual. That makes sense. Anyway, that's my little rant.
I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about our decision to delay the further production.
We did not show this.
Oh, I'm
The
so
question
glad.
was,
Yay.
If we start with that, everybody will cry, everybody will jump out of the window.
I finally made a version of the video that I felt
A little extreme, but
like, because you just look so depressed. You look like you want to kill yourself. Like, how could we ever?
I
So it
love
was like
this.
a-
I love that they can use this language in their workplace and not have HR up their ass. You know, that's great.
Yeah. He's got a little echo figure on his desk.
Ooh, cute. And a plant? Question mark.
Time.
Small plane.
March time.
Hello. Someone be sleeping on the job. It's cool.
Hey, is there anything we can do, like a music video, or we talk to the esports team and there's a desire?
Is this gonna be the I know they released the test shot, something like that, the test fight sequence. Have you seen that?
What, the one with Vi and Jayce?
Yeah, but there's also one between two other characters. Here, I'll play it. We'll just see what happens.
The music video.
Oh,
Oh, I think this is the copyrighted one.
this is the copyrighted one?
I think so. It might be. Because it said featuring somebody.
Oh, okay.
Like a crazy idea about a K-pop group.
Ooh.
Oh, this was all over the fucking internet. Wow.
I had no idea that this was for Tish.
That's
Did you?
cool. No.
So they
I did see
two
some
music
behind the
videos,
scenes for that,
which
though.
I think are still
Yeah?
I did. It was really cool seeing the animation for some of KDA. Guy was fucking
some
everywhere.
of the best, if not the two best, on our YouTube channel.
Ces deux clips nous ont permis
Oh,
aussi
no.
de...
I'll put on the captions. Hold up, folks. Hold up, folks. It's gonna look ugly, but I'm gonna do it. Alrighty. Yeah. If I forget to turn them off, it's my fault, but I'll still blame you. Okay, I'm just kidding. Here we go.
de résoudre certains petits problèmes techniques qu'on pouvait avoir sur qu'on avait pu avoir sur le pilote de la série.
So, you're welcome.
Dude, wait. Okay. That gave me Fortnite vibes for a second. I hope that's not offensive, but I just got like, you know, like Orange Dance or something. Something just flashed between my eyes. I don't know what it was. Wait, let me replay it. There was like the way the character models were moving for a brief second brought back some like trauma somewhere deep.
Trauma. Oh,
Do you see it?
yeah.
It just
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
ever so slightly. It's somewhere in there. Okay, I'm gonna turn the captions off, or maybe I'll put on like Vietnamese. I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
Now it's in the way and nobody can understand it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll continue on. You see it? It just
Yeah.
it's good video. Good.
Cripple from the Undercity.
Victor!
Was an outsider the
Oh, boy.
moment I stepped foot in Piltover. I didn't have to benefit patron or a name. I simply believed in myself.
At that point, the idea was I had to replace myself as like the person in charge, figuring out the story. Of course, you know, it was me and Alex, but I was responsible.
Wait, so is he saying it was at this point where he realized he wasn't a strong enough individual to write it and he needed to hire someone?
I guess. He has to replace himself. I don't know if it's because he felt that he needed to do that or because one of the, I don't know, higher up people at Riot told him he needs to have a different writer. I don't know.
Years ago, if you pitched that a video company was gonna do like a series that is looking for like drama screenwriters, no one really showed up.
I believe that, yeah, 6 years ago. I would not have thought this kind of production level would have come out of a video game company. So, yeah.
Same.
Or it was just, you know, people were in for the wrong reasons. Like, well, I mean, League of Legends Riot is big, but they didn't
Oh,
really care.
love that little artwork. I mean, massive artwork. I personally don't recognize what I'm looking at, statue-wise in the middle. Do you?
That's Annie. That's a champion and her bear Tibbers. I think.
Oh,
She's a little girl that has like fire magic and she summons the big bear. It's usually a little teddy bear, I think. I don't know. I haven't played it in a long time.
It's
I
quite.
think it was one of the first people I played.
Oh, it's quite the big teddy bear, if that's what you're calling it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a lot more realistic looking than I thought it would be.
Maybe
Indeed,
we'll
I
just
agree. Let's not prepare for that.
try again, but be less shitty.
That's good
And then,
advice.
yeah, I mean, it was just start over, you know, like
I would love to see what they had written originally, because I feel like as much shit as they said they got for it, it might not have been that bad. It might have had like a good bone structure in there, writing wise.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like it can't be that bad. Could have been. Maybe it was awful. Release the Snyder Cut. I don't know.
That's when we found Monica Macer. You know, she was a showrunner. She worked on Lost. Was someone who was really passionate about mentoring people, and she really helped us find the right way to realize our vision, you know, without necessarily being like, here's what you have to do. More just about here's all about the process of how to craft a season.
Doggo!
You're like always trying to get into the heads of your characters.
I love that.
Did have one of the writers he had to shoot a gun, like a sniper gun, right before I was gonna.
What?
Jesus.
That's
yeah, get in your characters' heads, I guess. Yeah.
That's cool. I wonder what character she mainly wrote for him. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, my character shoots a gun. I'm gonna go learn how to shoot a gun. Not just like any gun either.
A fucking sniper. I'm assuming she did a lot for Caitlyn because it showed art of Caitlyn, and Caitlyn had a big fucking rifle. So.
Yeah. Hey, look at you.
We're in my house, and I have a little office here where I do my writing. Through the kitchen, my nook.
Oh,
that's cute.
That is a little nook. I like it. I see a plant too.
That's a nice little space, that little creative space.
There we go.
They'll have scripts that they'll send over to you as a sample of their work. And Amanda, I think with hers, it was comic book.
I like how she's smiling, and it's such like, without any music in the background, it's so nice. It's like a nice little photo. But they're starting to play this like little eerie sound in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get this like evil villain vibe from her. I don't think, maybe that's what they're going for, I'm not sure, but it's cool.
Video game science.
And like with the zoom in and everything too, I'm like, hey, what are they trying to tell us?
And her story was about a future world where we've colonized the moon. And I was like, this seems like.
Hey, that's the same lamppost in the part 1 that the other guy was crossing the street to.
Look at the lady in the back looking at the camera.
Punching bag, but that's just what we do right now.
Whoa, look at those sick fucking moves, bro. That's actually not bad.
I never thought about how my kung fu translates to learning how to advise a fighter.
That's right. I remember reading somewhere about how several of the writers or some members of the team studied martial arts to learn how to better choreograph the fights for in the show, to animate the fights and give it like a really realistic, gritty sense to it. Yeah, I remember. Fuck, where was that at? I was like, wow, that's so cool. And they didn't just study it for like. Also, they didn't just study it for like a day or two. They like really took it up and embodied it.
So they really, really understand how it looks and feels.
Rotten luck, boys.
Oh, here we go. I love this. Yes.
One of the things I'm like so proud of is it's like between two women with like a different body type, different like both like really muscular.
Yeah.
They're doing moves that you haven't necessarily seen women.
See, that's okay. So that's one of the great things about this show. It's inclusive without being. How do I put that? It's inclusive. It's real. I guess it's not real. Like no one has a fucking biotech arm with a laser sword coming out of the end.
Yeah,
but like,
but it's like women fighting in a very real way with excluding the mechanical arm, like realistic body type.
Yeah, I just exactly what she just said. But when I was watching the show, I didn't actually even think about that once. Like maybe I did towards the end somewhere. I think when I saw Vi really jacked, maybe it wasn't towards the end. I think when I saw Vi really jacked when she was in her cell for the first time, I remember having a brief thought of, this makes sense for her character to be built because, you know, she's been in prison and she's so motivated, right? That this makes sense for her to have worked out consistently, be this lean and muscular.
Yeah.
And she's not like overly muscular for a woman. Like it is achievable in real life. You know, it is a little fantasized. It is not perfectly realistic, is what I'm trying to say. It is, you know, in a fantasy world. She do be kind of thick. She do be kind of thick. But yeah, I remember when I saw her in that scene, first off, I was just like elated to see her because, you know, waiting all episode, like, where's Vi? After all that time, the fight scenes felt good. I didn't have to stop to think at all once, like, well, that doesn't make sense. I don't know.
I remember feeling a similar way after Caitlyn got Vi out of jail and Vi was doing like the parkour down from Piltover to
Okay, that's
Zaun.
That's a little extreme, cause like she was fucking fast, and Caitlyn somehow didn't like lose her. What?
Yeah.
Vi was zooming, and then Caitlyn was shown struggling to get down a little bit. Vi would be gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, were you saying you thought that was realistic? Because
it was cool seeing her more realistic physical form moving in that kind of way, I guess.
Because I personally don't feel like that is a good example of realism.
It was exaggerated, yeah, and the movements were exaggerated and everything. It was a thought that crossed my mind while I was watching.
Oh, okay, so while you were watching that scene, that's when you thought about her physical form?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I remember my thought in that scene constantly was like, oh, she lost Caitlyn. Like, Caitlyn's in the dust.
Yeah, I thought the same.
So, I mean, I think that maybe if I had to critique...
I always think of fights like being just like another talking drama. Like there has to be
Yes!
a turn, there has to be motivations.
Oh, nut! That's great. That's great. This is like basic stuff though. You know, it's basic in the sense that like, damn, have I really been deprived that long?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that action scenes, fight scenes where we have very deep character motivation or extremely high plot stakes as to the outcome of the fight are a lot more enjoyable to watch. Even if they have less cool cuts and less big flashy things going on in them, because I'm invested and I care, you know? I can just think of too many, dialogue. Oh, that's too much dialogue. Action scene. You know, we always need that action scene. And it almost feels like instead of the fight happening because of character, the fight is happening to push everything forward. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, not in this show. In a generic, like your generic action film, one of the newer Jurassic Parks, for example, when we have our action moments, they're not driven because of previous things. They're normally driven because, well, it is driving the plot forward, is the point I'm trying to make. The fight itself is doing that. And yeah, of course, this scene here is doing that as well. We have what their outcome's gonna change how the plot goes a bit, but not tremendously, as in like big stakes. I'm tired. I'll shut the fuck up. I'll keep watching the video.
I'll give her your regards.
You know, can I ask to you, when you watched that moment, did it feel like Vi kind of accepted her death for half a second?
A little bit, yeah.
I remember when I saw it, and even seeing it again now, there seems like there's this moment in her eyes where she's okay with dying, and she kind of gives up the fight. And that's the only moment in the entire show where her character, I feel like, actually gives up very briefly. Just very briefly, because she's very resilient, but in that moment,
I agree,
and of course,
yeah.
saved by another woman. 3 women in a fight scene, dope. So
Amanda has a really honest voice in her dialogue. I remember this moment when Alex and I were really wrestling with the last words that Jinx was saying to Vi, and then like Amanda took the script, solved it in like, I don't know, an hour.
The dinner scene for me is where I think I don't have anything to support it, so I'm hesitating to actually say it, but the dinner scene for me was where I felt some of the dialogue wasn't as strong as it could be. And I think the reason why I say that is because I think it needed to be a bit of a longer scene, perhaps. I say that knowing I think it was about a good third of the show. And that's cool that she could figure it out very quickly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It didn't, I guess in comparison, I wouldn't necessarily say that on it felt like a weak scene, but in comparison to everything else, it didn't strike in my memory as much as a lot of other scenes, which would by comparison make it worse.
Well, like you said, it's not a bad scene. It's phenomenal. But
yeah.
For some reason, I remember moments like Viktor running free without his cane for the first time better and more vividly in my mind than I do the final dinner scene. You know, I remember smaller moments just with a lot more significance, which is silly. I don't necessarily think I need to attach a good or bad label to that. But moments where Viktor, oh god, like when Viktor, I have a lot of them with Viktor, I'm realizing now. Maybe Viktor is about to go off the ledge, and then Jayce asks if he's interrupting something, and you know, I don't know why, but I remember more detailed the entire sequence of Heimerdinger walking down the city street alley and magically turning like that nut and bolt into fucking some cool ass little spinny contraption. I'm like, what the fuck? The dinner scene is great, but like for me, I remember one of my favorite funny parts is when Caitlyn is walking down the hallway with Vi, and she hears a noise, and then she peers her she walks by, and then she peers her eye back, and there's like a bubble that makes her eye bigger, and then you could see her like looking in and like being like, what? It just, I don't know. So I don't know why I'm talking about this for so long. I think the final scene is good scene. If I had it my way, I would just make more of it, I guess, to give us, to give Jinx, I think, more time to really unravel a bit. Because they do unravel her, but it's quite quick. It can almost be snap neck. But anyway.
Maybe you could love me like you used to.
The voice acting, though, killing it.
Different.
Voice acting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But you too. So here's to the new
Amanda just wrote that, and Alex and I were just like, "Yep, that's we just couldn't do that, you know."
It was very plot heavy, right? It's very focused on kind of what's the problem that has to get solved, who's gonna fight who. What I think most improved after kind of work as writers was sort of like the emotional story for the characters.
I love that. That's good. Yeah, I don't fault any writers for accidentally falling into that pit hole of, well, I need the plot to go forward, so this has to happen, this has to happen. There's so many things to keep in mind. And when I've been trying to practice writing recently, I have found that if I just focus on the character, somehow when I take a step back, the plot has somehow accidentally progressed itself ever so slightly. Like I haven't had to write necessarily plot because the character development did that for me. Or at least at the very minimum, it's pointing where I should go, which is kind of the complete opposite of how I used to write when I was a little kid. You know, I used to write like, I went to the mall and then I found a magical toy teddy bear and I brought it home and it brought all of my toys to life. And I don't know why I'm just telling Toy Story, but like, you know, nothing was motivated by understanding the complicated nuances of a person's psyche and being. It was always like, hey, magical cool bullshit, and then this happened. Because magical cool bullshit is cool.
Beginning of the season with the bridge.
Oh yeah, in this season there were so many phenomenal metaphorical bridge moments. Like, bridges in any media are an obvious, like, hey, I'm symbolic of some things, you know? But they strategically use bridges so well with fight scenes to help make it make sense that they couldn't get, like, overwhelmed. And then the bridges connecting Piltover and Zahn, it's just the bridges in this fucking series are not just like, hey, here's a bridge just cause. It's a bridge. It's a nice ass bridge, you know?
To be completely honest, Niccolo and I were always on like completely opposite spectrums. He's a business person. He's someone who's just extremely smart in like a rational way. He doesn't really let himself get carried away by like his emotions or like by his own personal attachment to anything. And I'm the opposite. I'm always
I feel like that could create some, you know, conflict obviously, but it also is kind of that balance that you need in a business model.
I'm an artiste, I guess.
Christian, actually, I remember I bring him in my office to say, hey, we've decided if we're gonna fund you for a full season. He had done the pilot, and you know, we paused, and I told him like we're not gonna fund a full season for art. And then I told him like, I think it's really important you understand why. Because
I think my heart would sink.
Yeah, right?
You and I can be on a different page, but it's very important you understand.
They're playing the Echo fight scene. Or Echo versus Jinx.
I'm not going to validate you to move to a full season is because I'm going to allow you to move to multiple seasons. So,
you evil little troll. How dare you? No! That's like, I don't like you. And then someone's like, what? You're like, I love you. And you're like, oh. Yeah. But like for that split moment, you shit your pants and cry and like you have to recover real quick and pretend you're fine. Yeah. Like, can you imagine? He's standing in this room like, we're not gonna fund your full season. He's just like because you know, you can tell that guy's a quick thinker. He already had like everything go through his mind about the next month of having to tell everyone, and oh my goodness, you could just feel it.
Yeah.
Oh man. I get it. It makes, you know, it's a funny little joke, but that's awesome. And I hear seasons, which maybe 3,
implies more
4,
than just 2,
5, infinite. No, I'm just kidding. Infinite would be bad.
kind of trolled him a bit
He pulled a bit of a prank.
And I think he was really pissed at me for this.
Yeah.
You need to stay committed to players because nothing's going to be easy.
So this is really interesting. I do hope they touch on this maybe in like part 5 or something. Maybe part 5 would be cool if it was after the fact, like after Arcane had come out, you know?
That'd be neat.
Because I really want to hear their perspective on the fact that they have such a wide audience of people that love the show that don't play the game. You know, because from part 1 and part 2, we've gotten this very clear message that it was created with a lot of passion for their player base, which is great and makes a lot of sense. But, you know, me and tons of people that I've had lovely conversations with in my comments, they've not played the game. A lot of them have gotten really interested in it because of this TV show and have checked out the lore. But I don't know. I really do hope in part 5 we can hear, you know, like, hey, originally it was just for our players, but now we realize we have a whole community of people that love our world that we've built and don't have any intention of playing, you know?
Yeah.
Then again, I always try to remember, like, as this is a documentary, they can frame it how they want to make them look how they want. You know, they're not going to put themselves in a bad light necessarily.
Yeah.
They're, you know, I mean, I can't help but to think there is some intention of wanting to attract new players to League in a way. You know, it's...
yeah.
Well, I was just saying, like, Arcane is kind of like a really good commercial. Or something. I don't know. One really long commercial. But, I mean, League already has so many players. How many fucking more players do you need?
It is a company, which, you know, money is important for a company. So more players just means more. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, see, the thing is, I would totally buy League merch now, but I will still not touch the game. I have no intention of touching the game. So if I'm wearing a shirt or if I have a cool little Echo figure on my desk, you know, someone will be like, "Oh shit, you play League of Legends?" No, I don't. So I'm just very curious on their input on that.
I know Christian went through this multiple times. We went through this multiple times, and you need to have the grit and the courage to continue for players.
And that's ironic because that's exactly the message you send through your show. It's great. I love it. Well, arguably, the way we leave off season 1, like if we just left it there, grit doesn't pay off in the end of season 1.
I guess not. No, grit doesn't really help again. Yeah.
I mean, at the very, very end, you know, Grit did keep Vi and Jinx alive, and Grit did a lot of good things for a lot of characters along the way, but if we just cut it hard with that rocket flying right towards that building, Grit didn't do enough.
A lot of people kind of shied away from like, hey, this isn't normal TV, this isn't normal animation. I think I'm just gonna go, you know, insert any animation studio out there. Right?
Whoever those people are probably really fucking regret it, most likely.
Yeah.
But I get why they do it. I have complete sympathy for it, because if you're trying to make a living being an artist already is hard enough, then you're like, oh, well, this is a huge risk. I don't know really what this is out there. It could completely flop. I'd rather stick with something that's like safe and, you know, get a paycheck. I get it, but damn, like if I were one of those artists, I'd be like, you know, a little sad.
Hey guys, come on in.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is Willie Nelson. He's the boss.
Hi, Willie Nelson.
He's in all the meetings. Loves it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. What a good boy.
Very good boy.
Yes. This is where all my meetings happen. It's very exciting. It's where I burn off my energy.
Are those two of the exact same laptop?
It kind of looks like it.
Cool.
Cute. Yeah. It's a nice little
I
room.
Remember sitting
very
down,
cozy.
All of the steak.
24. That was when I was really young. I
Wow.
worked on Darkwing Duck. That was my very first animated show to be on as a production assistant. I was working on Goof Troop, Aladdin.
Damn. Stuff like this. Yeah, because maybe this is depressing, but being the age that I am, right? It's too late for me. And I'm not even that fucking old. Like,
yeah.
You know?
There are people that don't break into their industries until they're like 30s or 40s, or sometimes even 50s.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is about this feeling I have, though. I think it's not just me. I think when I talk to other people, there's this pressure that you have to be like this super successful person at this super young age. And if you're not, then, oh, it wasn't for you. It wasn't meant to be. Get a 9 to 5 and suck a dick.
Sucks.
You know?
Yeah.
I won't keep that part in, but... Look at the dog! Oh my goodness.
I know. There's funny ears.
You have funny ears. Actually, I like never see your ears because your hair is so long. I never see your ears.
Fun fact, I have funny ears.
Wait. Why do you think?
I have kind of big ears. They're not like huge, but a little on the bigger side.
No, you don't. I feel like I would have said I've known you for too long not to have made fun of your ears already if they were weird.
Numerous people have told me that they're big.
Maybe they're just insecure about their tiny ears, so they have to make
Which really equates to old, but it's okay. Riot's a very young
I like
company.
her.
Yeah, the team health when I first started wasn't so great.
Oh,
Everyone
no.
was like, I was like,
I didn't think of that. I know there's those there's those silly little business group activities or group trips and stuff that you can. I remember watching Shark Tank one time and there was a whole company around the idea of going to businesses and doing group activities with the teams to get do team building. That's what I'm looking for. Team building activities, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about that because they all seem like really nice, chill people, but I guess they needed some team building activity.
I guess, yeah.
they need some loving.
Making
I'm
the show
loving.
set out with Arcane.
3 years into the project or something. I know Christian was exhausted. Alex is.
Okay, so I don't think it was as much about being necessarily negative or anything, just worn out and exhausted.
Challenging one, even for those of us that have been in the business for.
Was that a fucking Excel sheet that I just saw?
It kind of looked like it, yeah.
I've never seen one of those used out in the wild. There's like a Fortiche license plate.
Oh, they've got more of the what the hell is the name of the band? Gorillas little figures.
Oh, they got the little gorillas figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some League of Legends characters.
Melinda was always someone that is extremely inspiring to the team, and
I love
creating
her
a team
smile.
atmosphere where it's okay when things are tough, as long as you just kind of believe in the team and have the right dream together.
Well, you know, you can get everything. Oh, gee. Oh, God, I can't.
You guys didn't think you'd be on behind the scenes, and here you are. There's Eric Bergman, our post supervisor. Hi, Eric.
Wait, gotta judge all of our tabs real quick. Hold up.
Judge her tabs.
I can't make out what they are. Darn.
I can't wait. She's got a calendar. She's got her email. She's got another calendar. She's got this open, her Google Drive, and it looks like a
Some
Google
Google
Docs
slides?
and two slides. Yeah.
Darn. Pretty tame. Pretty tame.
Her taskbar gives me anxiety though.
I think that's just a common thing I've noticed with people that use MacBooks. I could be wrong, but my one friend in college has fucking the worst taskbar I'll send you a photo. Dude, it's just like everything is fit onto the taskbar.
I hate that.
Eric, you're on mute. We do every Zoom.
I like how some of them have custom little artsy back.
Yeah, they're in Arcane.
From department by department, just trying to get everybody together and get to know each individual.
This is a French studio in Heim, but you have.
It's like there's two teams, the beer team.
I just realized I haven't done my French accent at all this time around.
No, you haven't.
I really tried to stop. I was like, I gotta stop.
So this is our production schedule.
Oh my god.
Wow. I don't know if I like that or if that gives me anxiety. A little bit of both. I feel like it's a necessary thing, but at the same time, dear lord, that's a little much.
Jesus. That seems almost like exaggerated to a cartoon level of like just fucking unfurl this 8-foot goddamn sheet of paper. It hits the ground and keeps rolling. That's ridiculous.
A lot.
Can you read any of that? And if so, can you send me a photo?
Yeah, I can send you a photo. There's stuff about...
Wow, you literally are looking at a completely different video than I am.
Yeah, I can like read the words.
Lighting and rendering. Interesting. I like how they overlap ever so slightly. This is really interesting to look it's really interesting to look at because I feel like you'd have to have a good grasp on how your team works together, like time-wise. Already, but
let's take our time and do it.
I love that.
And if it takes us a little bit longer to get those scripts done, that's what we do.
Okay, I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy, okay?
Okay.
I'm trying to get used to getting hate up in my DMs, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't get like nice, cute, like, oh, so you sound like adorable. No, it's just like, you fucking cunt, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. What she just said, I get, but it does come from a place of we have money. We've got money. And I don't want to say that's privilege because it's not. Money and privilege are different. You know, they're close, but they're different. And it just makes me think about, for me personally, when you go about writing a story, having that comfort of knowing you have extra money to fall back onto. God forbid things go wrong. I don't know. I'm just trying to imagine this same exact scenario, but like a super hard cap on the amount of money that they could spend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we would have got a completely different result. Because I do think there was tons of stress already. The team was very stressed. They were on a time limit. And, you know, they're not... They know they have the extra cushion of some money if they need it, but like they don't want to cause that problem if they don't have to. So there is stress. There's a lot of stress. But still, like if you are someone who knows, like if you hit $0 in your bank account, you got $0 in your bank account, and that's it. It's just
like it's not just like a creative project. It's also like paying your fucking rent. So
yeah, I don't know. Just hearing her say that about if we need more time, you know, we'll take more time, and it's not something every small indie filmmaker and writer has the opportunity to do. So I'm glad. I'm also not saying that they weren't aware of this privilege. I think they were aware that they like had the money and budget, which is cool. I'm not saying like she's stuck up or anything. She's not. They're not at all. I'm just saying. I suppose what I'm saying is money helps make things good. Sometimes.
Good take.
You just gave everybody nukes. Congratulations, you fucked up, right?
You just gave everybody nukes. You fucked up, right, dude?
I think I have that exact fucking laptop. Sorry, it's I don't know.
No, you're good. You're fun. I was about to roast Marvel, so I'm glad. Let's move on.
The thing that's always been all fuzzy to me is just kind of how we end this episode with the fiction thing.
Yes, I would love
Ooh.
to bring Vi back into his mind in this episode in some way. I wrote like something about missing Vi.
Oh, confirmed. I don't know how. I have seen multiple people deny that Vi and Caitlyn have a thing, and I'm like,
oh, whatever.
It's not explicitly clear, I guess. They don't like outwardly say it.
It doesn't have to be outwardly
I
spoken.
don't.
And if it were outwardly spoken, people would be just as angry because they're like, they shoehorned in their agenda. Like, Jesus, man.
Well, that was one of the funniest comments I came across was this: I can't let any of my children watch this show, the homosexuals. I was like, oh my goodness. But no, yeah, I think this ties well into having a conversation about the fight scenes with the women and having authentic relationships that are between two women. It doesn't feel forced. It feels so real. And I never stopped to think about it at all. I was just like, oh, this is cute, whatever. Also, what do you think about the idea that, like, Viktor and Jayce kind of got something going on? I don't know, I felt it there a few times for a few seconds, maybe.
I could see it, but that one feels a little weird. that one does not feel
now you're afraid of the gay. I see.
Yeah.
No.
It's only cool when it's between women. That reminds me, by the way, I have a video that I want to show you later, unrelated.
Okay, I'm gonna insert it if it's funny.
It's titled like Caitlyn and Vi being quote unquote good friends every time they're good friends in Arcane.
That's cute. Yeah,
it was funny.
That is cute. I don't know. I'm not at the end of the season. Jayce and Viktor definitely don't have it going on there. Wait. Poor Heimerdinger, if he tries to get into a relationship, is it like bestiality? Like, how does that...
I would assume he would with another one of his species. I don't know. Or maybe, what one of your commenters mentioned a yordle, is that what they're called?
I think so.
His species?
Yeah.
Maybe they can procreate with humans. I don't know. I don't know anything about... Is that yucky? Is that... I don't know.
I don't know. Like, cause I feel like if you don't... I feel like if you don't view him as, you know what? We're gonna stop this conversation dead here.
It's something you want to go...
No, I don't think... You're probably right. Where are the other Yordles at, though? I'm curious. Why is he the only Yordle we see?
I think that again, uncertain. In the stripper joint, or whatever it was called, where Vi went to get information with Caitlyn, I think that little gremlin-looking lady might have also been a Yordle. When I looked up Yordles, I saw a lot of variety in what they can look like, including the champions themselves. So that little lady might have been a Yordle. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have like 16 fucking pin tabs or whatever you call it, from like recommendations of lore where to start, and I'm like almost overwhelmed.
They're doing it because they love the players.
Budget? Mind doing a budget check real quick for me?
Look up how much money it costs for Arcane.
Yep.
$90 to $100 million.
Total?
Allegedly. It says, while the popular next Netflix show Arcane only lasted 9 episodes, the production time took an impressive 6 years with a budget that could have been anywhere from $90 to $100 million.
Total.
Quote, the dispatchonline.net, yeah.
Cool.
And it's special.
I mean, if you think about it, the newest Thor Love and Thunder was like $350 million budget. And that's a 2.5 hour long film.
Yeah.
It was not very long. This was an hour each, right? About, I'm pretty sure. 50 minutes.
I completely forget. It was a long episode regardless.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was about an hour each. We got 9 of them, so we got 9 hours for $100 million. If we're putting it on the higher end, really good shit. You know, really good shit. If you're just comparing it to like the budget that could have been spent per time of like how much time there has been in the actual show / movie, it's expensive, but it could be worse.
One of the biggest questions we had though was, can this be sustained?
I would love to be in that office. I'm sorry to cut this guy off. I would love to be in that office because I think it'd just be inspirational to be around all that art, but also just to loot all the post-it notes everywhere.
By staring at 2 characters, not saying a word.
Just friends. Just friends.
What good friends. Yeah, I think this exact clip is in the YouTube video.
The emotions. We all want to take animation to this place of mature drama.
I love that fight scene.
Subtlety and nuance.
I think I've rewatched about 20 times.
Style and innovation.
Whoa!
Doesn't
The
exist.
detail.
And I think we together can do it.
Heck yeah, you can. And you did. And you did a great job. Can you think this show was that close to not being made? Hot diggity dog, would that have been awful? Yeah, no, part 2, good.
Bueno.
Yeah, I think my thoughts on this part are... I think this time around I was thinking a lot more about the financial aspect of how much money actually goes into something like this. At least for me. What kind of was crossing your mind? What was like the theme that you were thinking about?
The pain of creative struggle and the worry that you won't be able to make it come true, or the worry about the money aspect, or that your project's getting shut down for you. That's what I focused on a lot. Like in the first episode of the documentary, there was a lot of art, which is what I resonate more with because I'm an artist, kind of. So this one was just a lot of the creative pain that an artist can feel for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think the first episode was a lot more focused on the art, and then this episode was a bit more into the business aspect of it. Can you quickly look up if they put out merch? Because if they did, fucking, I'll hook them up. I'll buy some fucking merch.
Yeah, there is. It looks like there is. I don't know what you call this. A little stand of Vi and Powder next to each other.
Oh, wow.
It's cute.
That is very cute.
Got
My fucked up
Echo's
brain,
face.
though, is like, I'd prefer, honestly, though, like, a statue of, or a mini of when like Jinx is fucking screaming with all that slime coming out, or one of her little mini grenades, or Silco. I don't want happy moments. I want dead Vander on the ground. Also, speaking of which, I found the frame in which we can see, I think, Vander quote. Well, I put Vander in quotes there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was told, by a few people, hey, he's not actually dead. I'm like, there's a chance he might not actually be dead because, well, he might not actually be dead. And, there is League of Legends, the video game, so with the champion. But yeah, so I'll insert the frame here of Vander / Warwick, ? But yeah, I was looking through again. The only thing I really want to know is if Silco knows or not, because it seems like he might not know.
It did seem to be somewhat of almost like a falling out between Singed and Silco, yeah. It was weird.
Yeah, because, when Silco's pouring one out, at the end there. If Silco, it wouldn't make sense for Silco not to know unless Singe purposefully kind of hid it from him because he knew Silco wouldn't approve, you know?
Yeah.
You could see he's on the ceiling. It almost looks like, you know,
Yeah.
looks like maybe he's not particularly easily visible or immediately noticeable. I'm not sure. What's your gut?
I do not think Silco had an idea that was happening. No, it didn't really feel to me like he did.
Okay.
It barely seemed like he communicated at all with Singed, actually. When Silco came to him with Jinx seeking help, I got the feeling that they hadn't really communicated much for a while.
So yeah, that was freaking episode 2. And hopefully our commentary was something enjoyable to sit back and listen to. This shit has been really fun, and it's been so exciting building this tiny little community of people that also enjoy this show and getting to be gushy nerds about some good art. And yeah, I'm still coming around to getting used to occasionally having a hater there or here, there, here. That's not how the saying goes. Here or there, Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun to do this. I was joking with Elias earlier that had he known that anybody would actually bother to, you know, join us for stuff like this, he might have picked a different picture to be his avatar, but
that's fine.
I think he's I think he's come to accept, and I think I don't know, I like its emotion. Good. That's all I have to say, I guess. Goodbye!